Ubiforward 2023 is almost here, and they actually have a very strong lineup already confirmed, and I want to go through those confirmed appearances, but I also want to ask the question, what about all of the other property that they have? I'm hoping for some big appearances from some of the franchises underneath their umbrella. I thought it would be fun to do sort of a short stream, go through some of those confirmations, as well as some of my hopes for this event. In general, I think it would be nice to see Ubisoft sort of turn things around. They're not really looked at in a very strong way in the gaming space right now. They did end up having to cancel quite a lot of their projects, and many people are looking at them with a bit of a raised eyebrow, almost as a sort of what's next. And they do have some big games planned and some big property underneath their ownership. Now, I'm going to put all the good information right here at the beginning, then I'm going to discuss it with a live audience, and we will be co-streaming a lot of the events over the weekend. We'll be moving to Future Game Show. There's the Xbox Showcase, Starfield, and the PC Gaming Show. We'll be co-streaming all that, as well as co-streaming the Ubiforward. Ubisoft Forward is just around the corner, and the list of confirmed appearances is stacking up. There's also a lot of big games that could make an appearance, and a cool hint in their latest trailer about the event itself. First, I want to quickly walk through the confirmed appearances and talk about what I'd like to see from them, and then second, I'd like to say what I hope to see there that we haven't necessarily heard about. What's the status on all of the many franchises that you have underneath your banner? Ubisoft owns some of the bigger names in gaming, and it'd be nice to see some of those games show up. But up first, I want to walk through just the confirmed appearances. They did this on Twitter. They were sort of tweeting out all the various things. They also had a trailer for Ubiforward that confirmed just a couple of titles, and then they had a little clue at the end about another thing that might be there. Now, not surprising, one of the first things confirmed that will be at this event is Assassin's Creed Mirage. AC Mirage is sort of setting itself up to be a return to form for the AC franchise, and I'm excited to see more. Now, we already saw a lot of it in previous showcases leading up to this, so I would like to see some extensive gameplay. I'd like to have it kind of slowed down a little bit, just sort of let us see how the game is going to flow. How's mission going to flow? Combat, sneaking, stealth, like montages of gameplay and slow-mo and cutscenes. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but I would really like to see this game sort of in a more stripped-down fashion. What exactly are we going to be doing, since it's supposed to be returning to a more classic Assassin's Creed feel? Up next, the crew will be there, and this is not actually that surprising. It shouldn't surprise anybody. This is actually one of their more popular titles. The franchise has sold over 21 million copies total, only outdone by Far Cry 5 at 25 million. So I do think sometimes people forget just how successful Ubisoft games have been. A lot of their titles have sold very, very well over the years. Far Cry 5 hitting 25 million copies sold actually surprised me. I was not expecting to see that. And the crew, we know racing games tend to do very well, whether it's Forza Motorsport or Gran Turismo, and the crew is certainly up there with some of the big dogs. So at 21 million total copies sold, the crew being there didn't really surprise me at all. Another big title underneath their banner that will be there is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Much like AC Mirage, Assassin's Creed Mirage, I would like to see gameplay for this one, and I would like to be it sort of extensive. It doesn't need to be extremely long. I just want to see what this game is going to look like. I'm still surprised they didn't go with a third-person action-adventure feel, just because of the look of the characters and the world and just the feel of the game. First-person might end up feeling kind of odd. I'm not quite sure why they opted for first person. I'm also interested in what is flight going to look like. Are they going to go third person when you decide to get on, one of the animals to fly around, or if there's mounts? I don't know. Now, the first person perspective could be nice for the bow combat. It could make it very tight. It could make it feel very good, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I would like to see extensive gameplay of the Avatar game. Then Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown will be there. The theme of what I want to see here isn't going to change much. I would like to see more gameplay of this. I want to see exactly what this game is going to feel like. The quick gameplay and the montage that they had for the announcement at Jeff Keighley's kickoff event for Summer Game Fest was awesome. I thought it was very exciting. I don't get why this game is getting hate. It's getting a lot of hate. It's getting a lot of downvotes, and I'm not quite sure why. Some are theorizing that people were hoping for a different Assassin's Creed. I'm sorry, not an Assassin's Creed game. A different Prince of Persia game. But I'm excited to see a side-scroller. I don't understand. Everybody complains about all the games look the same. All we get are third-person movie games. At least people say that about PlayStation. And we get a return to form for Prince of Persia. And everybody is complaining about it. I don't understand. I'm excited about it. I think it looks great. I'd like to see some more gameplay. Then they confirmed via Twitter that the Division Resurgence will be there, and this one doesn't excite me much. I don't think it looks that great. I honestly don't think the Division will transition very well to mobile. I just don't think it's that kind of a game, but it will be there. Mobile games can be very popular and make a lot of money, but Apex Legends just sort of abandoned mobile. It didn't work out for them. I just don't think certain games work that well on the mobile devices and just don't garner the crowd, and I just don't know if a game in the style of the Division will work well in that avenue. Now, the last hard confirmation they gave us is xDefiant, and there's no surprise here. They had a very successful soft launch with their beta, great reception from the community and the people that played it, so casting a vision for what comes next. When's the official launch? Do you have a roadmap? What exactly do you have planned for xDefiant? I'm assuming we're going to get something about that in this showcase. Many are expecting a late release of this game in 2023. Now, they didn't confirm it, but I think it would make sense if it did come out this year. Something else they didn't confirm, but they heavily teased it, and I can almost guarantee that this game will be at the event, is Just Dance. Just Dance will almost assuredly be there. They are a big moneymaker for Ubisoft, and they're usually at every single event, so that is pretty much everything you can expect to see confirmed, okay? That's a lot of confirmations, right? That's what, 2, 4, so that's like 7 confirmations, with that 8th one, I think, almost assuredly being there. Now, what do I want to see, okay? Very quickly, I want to roll through some of the things that I would like to see, because I do like a lot of the games in their hub, right? I like a lot of what they have to offer. First, Assassin's Creed Red gameplay would be killer. I know it's unlikely, okay? They're probably wanting to focus on AC Mirage a little bit more before we get any other Assassin's Creed appearances, but the clue at the end of the one trailer had like this cloth waving, and it was black and gold, and if you look at their Assassin's Creed Anniversary stream art, it was all gold and black and very cool looking. And then somebody made the observation that the cloth movement mimics that sort of digitized cloth movement that you see on the ground in those loading screens in Assassin's Creed. So I don't think AC Mirage is the only piece of Assassin's Creed property to be there, and if AC Red shows up, I would absolutely love to see some gameplay. I think that one's going to interest me a whole lot more. If the rumors are to be believed, you might be switching between characters, one being a samurai, one being a ninja, or maybe have just completely different playthrough experiences. Maybe you could play as one through the whole game, and then, play as another through the whole game. So I would love to see some Assassin's Creed Red, even though probably won't. All right, I would also like to see something about the Star Wars game from Massive. It's rumored to be coming sooner than expected. Apparently, that's what we're hearing, is that it's actually going to show up a lot sooner, a lot faster than people were expecting. So would love to hear something about that. Release date, maybe some gameplay, maybe just a trailer. We have no idea what this game is, what it's called, or what it's about. Now, the Division Heartlands, I would like to see there. I think it's very promising. It's basically a PvPvE game. It's survival, if you remember that from Division 1. It's essentially baked and fleshed out into its own extraction game. I don't know the longevity of this game. I don't know how long it will last. I don't know if it has staying power. I think forever gaming is a huge challenge for games like this, especially when your offering is so narrow. It's just an extraction game at its heart. It's just survival at its core. And apparently they might surprise drop their beta. It was promised to show up in June, and the beta may be how they just launch this game. They may pull a Fortnite and be like, yeah, here's the game in beta, and you can play it right now. I mean, they may end up doing that during this showcase. I would also love to see some AC Nexus gameplay. This is their Assassin's Creed VR game. Really interested to see what this ends up being. I hope it's not like Call of the Mountain and a bunch of climbing. I thought the climbing in Call of the Mountain was so overdone. It was a beautiful game. It was actually quite fun, but there was just way too much climbing. I actually had to stop playing it because it just felt absurd. It was like that was all I was doing. My arms got tired. But I would love to see that game make an appearance. It will likely be there. And I would love some more information on AC Infinity, their sort of live service hub or their central hub for Assassin's Creed. We don't know much about it. They were very generic and very vague when they talked about it the last time it showed up. What's the future of the AC franchise with respect to live service after the success and after everything they learned from AC Valhalla? I would love to hear more about that. Now, some of this may be better off or better suited for a strictly Assassin's Creed show or an Assassin's Creed showcase, but I would love to hear more about these things as well. Now, I'm just going to rattle off now some franchises that I would love for them to show up. I would love for them to be there. We don't know anything about any of this, but I'm just going to rattle them off. Splinter Cell. What's going on with Splinter Cell? Is the remake close at hand? Can we see something? Can we get gameplay? What about a release date, right? What's going on with the Splinter Cell franchise? What about Far Cry? Is Far Cry 7 coming? Are you going to do another Far Cry? Are you going to take everything you learned from AC Valhalla and try and do a live service Far Cry? I actually think they could consider doing that. There were more sort of RPG elements, and there was things in Far Cry 6 that felt like maybe we're laying that groundwork. You know, what's going on with Far Cry? Watch Dogs. What are you doing with Watch Dogs? Are you doing any more games? Are you doing another game? Again, are you going to try to lean into live service with Watch Dogs? That kind of feels like a game that would be pretty well suited for that, sort of an ongoing thing, sort of a living, breathing world. They could certainly do something like that. Ghost Recon. What are you doing with Ghost Recon? Do you have plans? Is there another game coming, or are you going to do anything with it? And I would actually like to see something done with Rayman. I think Rayman is a great property. I think going back to more classic style gaming is exciting. I like seeing it. I like going back to those old side-scrollers. I think they're fun. Rayman Legends is just such an amazing game. It's just so fun. It's just like classic platforming, you know, speed, and it's a really good time. I remember playing that co-op with my wife quite a bit. And then their hints, very clearly their hints, their gold and black imagery harkening back to the Assassin's Creed anniversary. I do think there's going to be some other kind of an Assassin's Creed appearance other than just AC Mirage, okay? Could be a pretty big and surprising showcase, honestly. And listen, I don't want to see Skull and Bones, all right? I'm just going to say it. I hope it's not there. I feel like Skull and Bones is a bit of a wet blanket in the gaming world right now. Like, please don't bring it. Don't bring it to this showcase, okay? I think everybody's kind of tired about hearing about Skull and Bones. Just launch it because you legally have to, and then that's it. Just put it out to pasture, okay? Now, overall, I actually think they can have a big showcase. They have a lot of great property. They have a lot of great games. In fact, my history as a gamer, as I comb through, you know, Splinter Cell and Far Cry and Assassin's Creed and Ghost Recon and The Division, I was like, wow, they have a lot of games from the history of me and my experience as a gamer. Like, in my gaming history, there's a lot of games there. So I think it could be a pretty big showcase, maybe a lot of surprises, and I can't wait to cover it live, and I hope to see you there. So let me give you my thoughts and my conclusions, as my nose is like itching terribly all of a sudden. Good golly, allergies or something. They've already confirmed a pretty great lineup from where I sit, right? I just hope they focus on gameplay. That's the first thing I want to say is you've got a great lineup. You've got a really, really strong amount of titles coming. You know, just please focus on gameplay. I think that's such a big, big screaming lesson that people are trying to shout right now. It's like, just give us gameplay, okay? The second thing, they have a massive amount of property. I do think they could really start to turn things around. A lot of folks really forget how many pieces of property Ubisoft has, how successful their games have been. Like, just go look at total sales of their games and their franchises. They have a lot of property that has a foothold in the market. This could be, I think, a really good time for them to turn around, buckle down, and do something great, and I think it could be really exciting. As I said, I'm a fan of a lot of their games. I've played a lot of them historically. So my conclusion is this: I think it should be a solid showcase. I'm hoping for some surprises. Hopefully they don't lean too heavily into like surprise cinematics that don't even have dates. I think people are kind of tired of that. Again, I hope they lean into the gameplay elements. At the end of the day, I'm looking forward to more games in the franchises that I love, and Ubisoft has a lot of them. And that's the show open. Thank you guys so much for being here on a Saturday. A little bit of a different vibe, obviously. We will be doing the future game show. And I realized about halfway through that opening monologue that my glasses had like smudges on them. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so distracting. And then my nose was like itching. I was like, what is going on? What's happening? Am I dying? Am I dying? I'm streaming on a Saturday and my body doesn't understand what's happening. It's like, what are you doing in the chair? Ghost Recon Future Soldier? What was the Tom Clancy game that launched with the 360? Like Advanced Warfighter or something like that. Something like that would be awesome. Yeah, I don't know if it was what you're thinking of. I don't know if you're thinking of Future Soldier. I remember Future Soldier was supposed to be awesome. And it wasn't. It wasn't. It was super lame. It was so dated. That one cooked for way too long. Let's get the member goal up. Now, hang on a minute, because I've got some people to thank. Sam Kaido upgraded to a VIP gold. That is so incredibly generous. And then Borbs gifted 5 members, kicking the day off. Kicking the day off with 5 gifted members. Thank you so much, Borbs, for doing that. Did you drink a bunch of water before you went to bed last night? Oh, I was fine. Yeah. Oh, it was literally called Advanced Warfighter. That was literally the name of the game. I don't remember that game. I do not remember that game. Was it any good? Yo, good morning, Lono. Great Friday night stream last night. Great reason for people to become members. Oh, man, last night was so fun, dude. I like that we switched the vibe to like, hey, let's just hang out and talk for 2 hours, and people just ran with it. And really, I mean, we had more people last night and last week than we've almost ever had. So it's been really exciting to see. UK's been baking for days now. Thunderstorms are moving in. Great picnicking at Seaside earlier with the kids, cooking dinner, drinking wine, batting down the hatches. Yo, good to see you, Brian. Yeah, a new IP, sure, like the massive Star Wars game. Like, there's rumors that's like a lot closer than we expected. So, I mean, that certainly could make an appearance. I don't... It's always weird when we learn about games like that, and then it's like we don't hear anything for a super long time, and I don't know if that's our fault. Like, are we too tuned in? Because the average gamer has no idea that Ubisoft is making a Star Wars game. Yo, what's good, Hex? Last night was a lot of fun. Never played Fall Guys before. Oh, man, Fall Guys is such a perfect game for those nights, too. You know, we had what, 20 to 30 people the whole time playing? That was so fun, man. That was a blast. I think that's the way we do it going forward. You guys can hang out with Madam and I on a Friday night, talk, chat, just kind of vibe and debrief on the week, and then you can vote on the game that Madam and I play, or I could have a game planned. You know, I could have you guys vote on community game night, you know. Immortal Turtle with a $2 super chat tip. Lono doing a special stream just for my birthday. Happy birthday, Immortal Turtle. You the best. Thank you guys so much for the support as well just this week. And thanks for support on a Saturday. I know this is kind of weird. I know this is unusual. But as you're piling in, make sure you're smashing the like button. We might be able to kind of like jumpstart this stream. Not our usual turnout because it's not our usual schedule. Good morning, Sven. Really is. I wish I could have played, but I was working and lurking. Happy Saturday. Good to see you, D-Tom. Streaming tomorrow, too. Oh, yes. Yes. Times, anytime solidified. We'll go live probably at 12:30. I believe the Xbox Showcase is at 1, is it not? We'll go live 30 minutes before the Xbox Showcase. We'll do that. We'll do the Direct. And then we got the PC gaming show. Yo, Immortal Turtle bumps the membership line. You guys are nuts. Just a reminder, you did get us into like the 4,100 of members. 4,153 is now the record on the channel. The beard will get shaved. We'll let you know when that's coming. Rob Solid gets that gifted membership. Thank you so much for doing that, Immortal Turtle. Well, this is surprising. Good to see you, Ken Pachi. Have work today. This is amazing. I'm glad to keep you company at work, man. You guys keep me company. We figured this was the only time slot that would work for a Ubisoft Forward Expectations stream. We wanted to talk about it because I really do think Ubi could have a big day. They could have a big show. They could turn things around. I really, really, truly believe that. Good to see you, Feed. Good to see you in the chat. It's at 1 p.m. Okay, yeah. So we'll go live at 12:30 tomorrow for Xbox. That'll be us kind of gearing up and getting ready. We like to go live about 30 minutes before the shows. So in about 35 minutes or so, we'll be getting ready for the future game show. The best way to save Skull and Bones is to remake Black Flag and to make it into a single game. I mean, if you guys were here the day that we did that, we pulled up Black Flag footage, and I watched for 60 seconds, and I just got angry. I was like, why did you not just make this game? Right? Why did you not just make this game? It's so irritating. It's such a better game than anything we've seen from Black Flag. Black Flag truly looks terrible. Like, it just... I'm sorry, not Black Flag. They should have made another Black Flag is what I'm trying to say. I'm confusing myself. Instead of Skull and Bones. Like, Skull and Bones just looks so bad. Like, a super old game. Like, how old is Black Flag? 60 seconds of Black Flag, and I was annoyed. I was like, I cannot believe that they opted to do what they're doing instead of doing the continuation of like a pirate game like that. You know what I mean? And it didn't even have to be another Assassin's Creed. It didn't have to be another Assassin's Creed. You know, you could have Lords of the Fallen. You could have done a game just sort of in that vein, and I think it would have been amazing. I do. I think it would have been great. I think some people forget that, you know, that wasn't even a super Assassin's Creed-like game. Like, a lot of the people that are like, oh, I don't like this direction they're taking with Assassin's Creed. It's like, well, did you like Black Flag? Oh, yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's like, okay, well, that game was a super big departure from the classic AC feel. You had guns, for crying out loud, right? I mean, it didn't seem all that stealthy to me. So I think they could have gone that similar route, but just made it an action-adventure game. You don't have to call it Black Flag. Black Flag had the perfect balance of land and sea fighting. I could not get into Watch Dogs with my friends. It would always give me crap, but it never suited me. I think Watch Dogs is a particular flavor of game. I didn't like Watch Dogs all that much either. I like the second one, I think, more than the first, but they never hooked me for very long. I just wondered if they could do something live service with Watch Dogs, like do something where you're online, you're in a world, and people are trying to hack you, and you know what I'm saying? There's something to be said for that. There's something to be said for that game could transition pretty well into live service. Now, I know everybody's like super annoyed with the live service push in the industry. I've never seen so much negativity about gaming events before. I was shocked at how many people thought Keeley's event was literally terrible, and then you listen to their feedback, and it's like they didn't watch the event. It's like we didn't watch the same event. We didn't watch the same event. Did they remaster Black Flag? I don't think so. I don't think they've ever gone back and done anything with it, to my knowledge. All the AC games and the AC games, anyone saying otherwise... all of the AC games are Assassin's Creed games. Anyone saying otherwise is lying. Well, I kind of agree with them that Assassin's Creed Origin was a big departure, right? It was a big departure. It was not like a classic Assassin's Creed game. It just wasn't. It was far more action, open world, RPG. It did not feel... And that was one of the reasons that I liked it. One of the reasons that I liked it was I was so burned out on the... I don't know. I was just burned out on the formula. It felt very formulaic, you know? It was just very formulaic. And I think I burned myself out on it because I kind of slept on the Assassin's Creed games. And then all of a sudden I played them all at once. I played AC 1, 2, Brotherhood. I couldn't get through Revelations because I'd played too many. You know what I'm saying? You getting sick? No, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm having like an allergic reaction to something. I'm not sure. I feel fine. We just had a really, really big weather shift in Louisville, Kentucky. And when that happens, it'll mess with my allergies. And, you know, I went on a walk last night, so maybe that's what it was. It was really, really hot, and then it rained, and it brought the temperature down. It's been so nice. We took a really nice walk last night, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm having some allergies. I don't know. You did that with Yakuza? Yeah, you like sleep on a game, and then you like play all of them, and all of a sudden you're like, why? I don't want to play another second of this. You know what I mean? I was absolutely shocked and disappointed with how many content creators called the Summer Showcase bad or lackluster. I don't understand. Like, some of the feedback was weird to me because I feel like, and I feel like this happens with Ubisoft. You have one or two things that upset people, and then that's all they remember. Right? That's all they remember. So, you know, Keeley's event had one or two, like, chintzy mobile games or live service games, and everyone's like, oh, the world is ending. That's all we're going to get now. And it's like, what are you talking about? What, Prince of Persia? Is that a live service game? Mortal Kombat 1? Is that some chintzy mobile live service game? What about Lies of P? Like, I don't understand. What are y'all talking about? Where is this coming from? But just a couple of those games included in a 2-hour showcase, and that's all anybody focuses on. But if you look at Ubisoft, the same thing happens. Ubisoft has Assassin's Creed, they have The Crew, they have Watch Dogs, Far Cry, Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, The Division. They have some big property underneath their banner. They have some big property. I don't understand. It's like, why does everybody hates them so much? And it's like, to me, part of the reason I think people hate Ubisoft so much is everybody really liked them, and then they had a bad couple of years. And then that's it. That's all everybody remembers. They're like, yeah, Ubisoft sucks. And it's like, well, I mean, they've had a couple bad games, sure, but they've got some big property. Yo, Javier's going to push us to 11 members on the day. You guys are actually, I have an emote called Lono Cook that I forgot I had, which is perfect because now, like, let him cook is like a thing. Like, I had this a long time ago, and that wasn't anything anybody said. So you guys could actually unlock it if we get like 70-something members today. I thought it was a good showcase. Thank you, Javier, for gifting 5 members, though. Man, even on a Saturday, you guys are bringing the generosity. Thank you for doing that. If you guys missed the member stream last night, it was a really good time. Friday nights with Madam is now more focused on hanging out, talking, debriefing, laughing, having some drinks, and then we ended the night with a game instead of making the game what the night is about. I know how you feel. I go from working in a -5 warehouse to straight surface of the sun temps this time of year. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Lies of P is interesting to me. Gotta admit, I didn't like the mobile games, but you gotta pay the bills. My tinfoil hat theory is they are purposely downplaying the showcase so they can come back and praise the heck out of the Microsoft showcase. I mean, I certainly am getting that vibe. I'm certainly sensing that people are saying, like, oh, Xbox is gonna save gaming. Xbox is gonna save all the, you know, this time of year. And I was like, you're really downplaying a mountain of content and a mountain of announcements so that what? You can claim your 90 minutes was superior? There has been so many good games that we've looked at. The Guerrilla Collective impressed the heck out of me. Amazing indies. Devolver Digital had 4 really cool announcements. I think they focused too much on the whole Volvi thing and whatever, you know, that was silly, and it was so, I think they did too much with that because they only had 4 announcements. And then I thought Keeley's thing was amazing. It was like so many games. Like, this year is going to be jam-packed full of games. It already is jam-packed full of games. We've had like 13 or 14 really good launches. We've had 3 pretty bad games. We had Redfall and Gollum, and then Jedi Survivor had all of its problems when it launched. Outside of that, though, come on. It's a good year. And I seriously think Ubisoft can bring the heat. They've got a lot of property. They have a lot of titles. Yeah, I tried out the demo of Lies of P. It has some weirdness with input drops or something. I'm not sure what it is. They definitely need to polish it, but I think the art style is amazing. I think the combat feels unique. It's a good game. It's shaping up to be a good little game. Negative or critical thoughts get more views and clicks, says Jake. I mean, yeah, I guess. A gifted member coming in from Raptor. It's really easy to see. These people will also say the Xbox show is mid as well. Yeah, maybe. Thank you, Raptor, for gifting a membership so much. Where did the... In Jeff's poll, the C&D was almost 50%. That's insane. The show was an A for me, says Belly Boy. Somebody said something that I wanted to read up here. Oh, it's because all the streamers wanted, like, more competitive games. That's what I was trying to read. I didn't get to read what you said, Taylor. I don't know if streamers wanted competitive games. I think this is what's happening. I think what happens is there's 10 people in the room, and one person really likes red, and this other person really likes blue, and this person likes yellow, and this person likes green, and this person likes purple. And whenever that color shows up, they're excited, and all the other colors don't matter to them, and they think they suck. So the guy that likes red will complain when red's not there. But then when red shows up, someone else starts complaining because their purple's not there. So what I think starts to happen is you're like, the gaming community feels like a schizophrenic. It's like, we're tired of third-person action-adventure movie games. And then Prince of Persia comes out and is like, hey, return to form. Return to form. Old school gaming. And everybody gets mad. Side-scroller, what is this? It's like, but what we're dealing with is the people that complain about this over here, they're not the same as the people over here. What happened to you? You used to do food analogies like a proper gentleman. Now, I don't even know you at all. Okay, picture a buffet, Zubair. Picture a buffet. And the guy who really likes cheeseburgers gets mad when the pizza comes out because he doesn't want pizza, so he complains. Man, all you guys do is bring out pizza. But then the guy that really, really likes pizza complains when the cheeseburgers come out because he's like, I don't care about cheeseburgers. And it's really hard to distinguish who's talking. Does that make sense? In the gaming sphere, like in this gaming arena that we exist in, it's always hard to know, wait, did you complain about action-adventure games and movie games? If you complained about that, then why are you complaining about Prince of Persia? Do you see? These are some picky mother effers. I think that's what it is, though. I think for me sitting in the chair, trying to read chat, trying to get a barometer on what people think, it's extremely difficult because there's someone in the chat that likes this and doesn't like this. And then there's somebody who's the exact opposite of that person. And they'll both take turns complaining. So you're like, well, nobody's happy. Nobody likes anything. You know, Ubisoft could walk out on Monday with Ubiforward, and they could bring a AC Mirage gameplay, The Crew, gameplay of Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It could look amazing. Prince of Persia, right? We know Just Dance is always going to be there. That makes them a ton of money. xDefiant. They've got something for everybody. They've even got a mobile game. Division Resurgence is going to be there. And then there's so many other things that could show up. Assassin's Creed Red could be there. AC Red gameplay is what I want to see. I know I probably won't get it, but it's what I'd like to see. Massive's got their Star Wars game rumored to be closer than we expected. The Division Heartlands could do like a surprise drop of their demo. You know, Watch Dogs, Far Cry, the Assassin's Creed Nexus VR game, Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, Rayman. They have a lot of property. Guys, help this stream out. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter one. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Get us to 200 likes. Let's turn this into a scrappy little stream. Javier says, I'll turn into a scrappy little stream. And he gifts 10 members. Takes us to 22 members on the day. Every 25, I gift 5. Thank you so much, Javier. 3 more, and I'll gift some members. Those of you that haven't been a part of the member stuff, man, this is a good time to become a member. I was getting my list of games. There's been so many game announcements. I wanted to have them at hand. Where's my Child of Light 2? I thought they shot that down as not happening. I thought they shot that down. I thought Child of Light was great. Lone Wolf gifts a single. Lone Wolf likes to walk these to the door sometimes. He might do a couple more. I was just joking. Wait, you were just joking about what? There's another one from Lone Wolf. You the man. All games suck. Touch grass. You guys gonna let him do it? There he does it. All right, Lone Wolf walks it all the way to 25. Let me give you guys a member count. You might actually go crazy today and unlock another emote. Yeah, you need 50 more members for an emote. 50. So yeah, 75 on the nose. That's awesome. I owe you 5 right now, so you actually don't need that many. If you get this to 50, I'll owe you 10. That'll be 60. So we actually only need... I think if you guys hit 65 over here with my gifteds, we'll unlock it. Thank you so much for doing that, Lone Wolf. Friggin' awesome. I can't believe where we're sitting right now as a channel. It's just insane. Von Raz says, didn't want to put this in YouTube chat. I'm seeing more and more people saying the show was mid. This video, I don't understand why. It's just disgruntled people and gamers that are entitled. Yo, Graydon's going to be the agent of chaos. He bumps the line forward. Thank you so much for doing that, Graydon. I love Alex. I love Alex deep, and I like his passion and his hunger to make content. I thought that was the worst video that I've seen from him. I'm not going to say the worst video he's ever made. Out of all the videos I've watched from him, I was like, this is terrible. You're not saying anything, brother. What? He never once pinpointed a bunch of games or patterns. He just kept speaking in these big grand terms. He was like, "Oh, it's just a bunch of live service games, microtransactions and piddly little mobile games." And I'm like, "Bro, 47 announcements. I can list 15 games that don't fit that description." Like, I don't understand. And he admitted. He was like, maybe I'm being the old man. Maybe I'm being the one who's like, oh, it's the kids that are out of touch. It's not me. But it's like Prince of Persia, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, Path of Exile 2, Witchfire, Remnant 2, Sonic Superstars, Lies of P, Sandland, Throne and Liberty. Now, Throne and Liberty could be Scummy Micros. We don't know yet. That Warhaven game looked like For Honor on steroids, right? Alan Wake 2, Space Marine 2. Toxic Commando looked like fun, probably live service, so I guess that would probably upset him. Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Pal World. The Banishers looked really cool. The Yakuza game looked really cool. Under the Waves, I've lost count of how many games I've listed. Wayfinders is live service, so I guess that one would upset him, right? And then Immortals of Avium, and then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's a lot of games that are not like chintzy little mobile live service Scummy Micros games. Those are all sound like great games. I don't understand. Yo, a $5 tip from Tiger2 Actual. Glad to see the growth. All the best to you, the fam in chat. Thank you so much, Tiger2 Actual. You are the best. Is Alex Dreamcast guy? No. No. But like I said, I think the slump at the end of that show is what made everybody say that. It was like, Discord, by the way. Dear Donnie. Yo, Donnie, what you doing in here? Sorry, I had Discord muted this whole time. Sorry about that. Yeah, I like Oh No, It's Alex. I like his content. I like when he roasts up fanboys. He roasted me up for my take on PC gaming. He's got great videos on ports. But then when he summarized the Jeff Keighley's event, I was like, what event are you talking about? Did you take too many gummies before the event or something? I don't know what showcase you watched. It wasn't a bunch of chintzy little, mobile games, gotcha games. It wasn't that. It wasn't a bunch of live service games. Now, again, near the end, there was that slump, and I think that's what jaded everybody, right? Listen, after the Xbox Porsche announcement, it did go downhill pretty quickly, right? You had Marvel Snap, King Arthur mobile game, Wayfinders is a live service game. We're not sure about micros there. Then Fortnite Unreal Editor. Then you had Stellaris. Then you had Star Trek Scavenger, Star Trek Infinite, The Twisted Metal Show, Lisfanga, Immortals of Aveum, and Fortnite, right? It was almost like they just jammed all that in at the end, because they said, well, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will save the day. Do you know what I mean? Were there any traditional PC bangers? He was excited about Path of Exile 2 being there and Space Marine 2 being there. That's a Warhammer game, and he loves Path of Exile. So, I think Witchfire could be a big hit on PC. It's a rogue, and it looks amazing. PC boys love their rogues, I don't know. I was like, I think Witchfire could be a bit of a sleeper hit. Yeah, this is the Diablo candle. Yeah. Here, let's get Lilith. Turn it around so you can see Lilith. It'll be a little bit more obvious. I opened that last night. Javier gifts a member and takes us to 27. Thank you so much for doing that, Javier. You're the best. Salute Reforge. Speaking of Mortal Kombat 1, the gameplay looks great. Was there a strategic breakdown on the assist character? They talked about it. They did an interview. Keeley did an interview with the guy about it, and I thought it explained it rather well. They wanted to give a nod to classic characters, and those characters are not in the game as playable characters, but they wanted to give a nod to them so they can be used as a part of like combos and like coming in and doing different things. And you can't do it constantly, but they're readily at your disposal pretty much all of the time. I liked Alana Pierce's take. She said, the day a show like E3 or Summer Game Fest doesn't excite me as a gamer, it's time for me to stop being a gamer. Sometimes the move is to move on instead of sitting on it, instead of crapping on it for everybody else. Right. It really does feel that way. It does. Lono has asbestos hands picking up candles and not getting burnt. Well, even if that was a real flame, you could still pick up the candle. What? What do you mean? You know when you have a candle that's on, you can just grab it like this. The wax doesn't get hot on the outside. 28 members on the day. Thank you so much, Danny, for gifting a member. You the best. Hate cells, though. I know. I just, maybe YouTube Lurker says, read the whole comment. The dummies say the first part. I say Ubisoft has been crushing it with Far Cry and Immortals. Rented Rising. Oh, I forgot to mention that the Immortals could be there. Yeah, I should have remembered to say that. Thank you for reminding me about that franchise. Oh, I picked it up from the top like this. Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? You can grab a candle from the side. I didn't realize that's how I picked it up. When's the show? Ubiforward is on Monday. We will co-stream it. In about 10 minutes or so here, we're going to shift gears to the future game show. We're going to cover that. I just wanted to do this one. I thought this could be a fun little quick stream. Get in, get out, talk about Ubiforward, what I'd like to see, what we're going to see there. Danny says, just dropping in, can't stay, but we'll catch up later. I'm sure it'll be a phenomenal show as always, Lono. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. I remember clearly the first time I saw a high-res screen in the Apple Store. I remember thinking it looked like a sticker. If I expect that feeling on my anytime a screen comes out, it'll be sad always. I think that this is the Metamorphosis principle, Zubair. I've talked to you guys about this before, and it's something that I've come up with, and I call it the Metamorphosis principle. I believe that many of us, as we've grown as gamers, gaming has grown leaps and bounds, and because of that, we associate that with gaming. It's baked into the crust, and so when you go to play a new game, you expect it to be leaps and bounds better than anything you've played before because you've experienced that so much. The jump from Nintendo to Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64 to GameCube to the Xbox to the 360, like every generation has just jumped so much. And now the jumps are smaller. The jumps are smaller. So the games, like people literally look at these games and they think, oh, it doesn't look that much better. Jedi Survivor, people said that about Jedi Survivor. Ignore the performance problems. If you compare Jedi Fallen Order to Jedi Survivor, it's a night and day difference, but everybody said it looked the same. People said the same thing about Horizon Forbidden West. They said the same thing about God of War Ragnarok. Oh, it looks the same. And it's like, well, thank you so much for gifting a member mic on the mic. It doesn't look the same if you actually do an intellectual breakdown and a side-by-side comparison, but it looks the same if you're expecting it to look like a completely different game graphically. And I think that's what people expect. Same energy as people disappointed with new phones. Like, there's only so much you can advance in a thin piece of glass with a camera in it. It's grown leaps and bounds this generation, but in ways that aren't necessarily obvious. That's exactly right, Eugene. Another gifted member from Ant. He's setting up the layup. 30 out of 50. A 20 bomb would bring it home. You guys might actually unlock an emote today. That'd be amazing to unlock another one. Another one. I was flying in space. I was in space. Oh, No Man's Sky VR. I was on another planet. Yeah, No Man's Sky VR is really special. It is. It really, really is. I think that's the challenge right now. I think some people aren't self-aware enough to know that the Metamorphosis principle is souring everything they look at. Everything they look at's been soured by the Metamorphosis principle. You look at a game, or you look at games and you think, I mean, people arguing that the Sonic game shouldn't be full price because it's a 2D game. I'm sorry, what? What did you just say? That doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? People being upset about Prince of Persia being a side scroller. What's the problem here? Butters was right. LOL, I said it. It made me vomit a little to say that. You know what's funny, Eugene? I kept saying that I knew he was right, that once you experience it, it's, oh my gosh. I knew Butters was right about that. I did. I was like, I know that if I experience it, it'll change my mind. But at the same time, it's like, it's still going to struggle because lots of people don't like it. It's going to be hard to sell the units. It's expensive to adopt into. And then you're not going to have tons of games to play. That seems to be changing pretty rapidly. The games are coming out at a pretty good clip. Or games like No Man's Sky add in a VR, right? They add in the VR mode. And it's like, oh, well, this is game changer. If you hit 5,000 membership, run around the neighborhood in a Speedo. Stone Spire said last night, if we get to 4450, he'll do a 50 bomb to get us to 4,500. And I don't know what goal. Did we come up with an incentive for 4,500? I don't know if we did. Let's see what Apple does with the mixed reality market over the next few years. Apple getting involved really helps. I think it does. Somebody says, what are you expecting from the Xbox showcase? I actually think Xbox is going to bring it because they kept their cards close to their chest. They didn't give anything to Jeff Keighley. So that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a bad thing that they have nothing to spare. But I actually think it's the alternative. I think it's a good thing. I think they're like, no, we have bombs and we're saving them for ourselves. I kind of see the disappointment of a 2D side-scroller game, says Gilly. Some people just think we should move past them. I don't agree. Oh, yeah, we said a Cooking with Lono stream. That's right. 4,500 reverse sear steak with some bourbon, and he wants me to actually, get drunk while cooking the steak. I don't know if I'm going to do that. 40 members out of 50, a 10 bomb from Zybersword. He's like, listen, guys, we can get to 4,450. We can get a couple hundred more members. He's like, let's go. Let's go. Paul says, why would you stop making 2D games? Yeah, I don't know why people would be against making 2D games or 2D side-scrollers. I don't understand that at all. I'd pay $100 for Silk Song. Yeah, just release it. Like, look at that. Look at Ori. Guys, could we get 22 more likes on the video? We're going to be shifting gears to the Future Game Show very quickly here. We'll keep this conversation going, obviously. We will keep this conversation going. Let's see. Why did it not tag them? Hang on a minute. There we go. Save. It didn't tag them in the description. I was trying to, like, take a shortcut to their channel. Wait, I don't understand. It's not tagging them. What is YouTube drunk? Yeah, it didn't save, I guess. Save. Okay, maybe that did it. You're supposed to just be able to put an @ symbol. There we go. That did it. That one did it. They have an upcoming live stream. Oh, they have them all in different languages. Okay, here's what we want. This is the one we want. Hide chat. It goes live in teeny bit. We'll put it on 1080. I think the more the people were expecting like AC Makeover with POP, maybe PvP, were disappointed to see it wind up being a side scroller. Okay, but isn't there another isn't there another one coming? You press like, thank you. Isn't there another Prince of Persia coming? I feel like there's another Prince of Persia coming. I don't know why I think that. I'm not going to spend $60 on them. They don't convey $60 worth of value to me. Yo, Cat brings it home all the way to 50. So generous. Thank you, Cat. I now owe you guys 10 members. You guys may actually pull this off. I did not expect us to get here. I did not expect us to get to the beard shave. You guys got us to the beard shave. And it is just unprecedented what's been happening. Pop remake, but it's in dev hell. Oh, Prince of Persia. Oh, that's what he was trying to say. We're now 30 members away from the emote unlock, and I owe you 10. So we're actually only 20 members away from the emote unlock. Also, for Prince of Persia, a lot of people were disappointed that they weren't playing as the prince. Oh, because they changed the character? A $20 skin in the game did not make $1 million to develop. Oh, did not take $1 million to develop. I kind of have to agree that 60 for a side-scroller isn't worth the price. Maybe 30 to 40. Oh, I completely disagree. If you've played Hollow Knight or you've played Ori and the Will of the Wisps, I don't think you can maintain that position. I just don't. Like, even Hades is a top-down, as a top-down. Anyone see Oh No, It's Alex latest vid? We talked about it a little bit. I didn't think it was, I didn't like it. I didn't think it was a very good video. I didn't think it was a good summary of Jeff Keighley's event. It was super one-sided. I think there was a handful of games that fit Alex's description. I think about 20% of the showcase fit his description, and the other 80% of the showcase was not what he was upset about. It was like, I don't know what showcase he watched, but that was the showcase he described is not the showcase I watched, because I don't like mobile games, like gacha games. I don't like that. Now, live service doesn't bother me as much, so like when Wayfinders is there, that doesn't bother me, That I'm not upset that Wayfinders was there. I think Wayfinders looks pretty promising, honestly. I've not played Ori, but Hollow Knight is great. I'd pay $100 for Hades. Yeah, Hades has got high praise virtually everywhere from everybody, you know? We need to shift gears, though. The Future Game Show just went live with their countdown, so they're on time. Respect. Oh. There we go. Okay. We're all the way up there. Okay. We're going to need to switch this to that. Hang on. Do they not have music? Okay, so my input's working. It's just that they don't have any music playing. Okay. People can pay $70 for Diablo, but can't pay $70 for a side scroller. What I think people would say is that Diablo has way more depth and longevity and replayability is probably what their pushback would be. That's probably what their pushback would be. It's good. I'm going to use a tool as an example. Makita tools are significantly more expensive than Ryobi. Why? Because they're made from better parts. They cost more to make, and they last longer. So you're saying the work that goes into a game like Hollow Knight and a work that goes into a game like Ori and the Will of the Wisps, because you think there's less work involved, they shouldn't cost as much? Is that what I'm tracking with? I mean, No Man's Sky is made by 8 people. So, I mean, did they put a crazy amount of work into that game? I would say they did, even though there's only 8 people. Smaller teams build games like Ori and Hollow Knight. I don't know if that means they're not worth that much money. It's kind of like that old story where the real noses drive me nuts. The real famous artist like drew something quickly on a napkin for a woman and wanted to charge her a lot of money for it. She's like, it took you 5 minutes to do that. He's like, I've studied for years so I could do that in 5 minutes. You know, so you got all these companies that have mastered the art of making like a really good game or a really impressive game, and just because it's a side scroller and maybe had a smaller team, we're gonna be like, well, that's not worth it. Like, huh? Oh no, it's Alex. His show is to prove his point. It's expository delivery. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. Yo, pushing it forward. The Agent of Chaos 51 out of 75. Guys, we got to head over to this new stream. It serves our purposes to not hang on. It serves our purposes to not be to not have these all in one stream. So okay. It's not the whole equation, but it's part of the equation. Okay. Let's continue this discussion. But let's continue this discussion over in the new stream. Help me out. Bring the gifted members. Bring the likes. Bring the love. We're shifting gears. Okay? Here we go. Thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be my co-stream of the Future Game Show. We are one of the official co-streamers of the event, so thank you, Future Game Show, for including us and giving us the badge to use on social media, as well as including us in the lists on your articles and your blogs. We appreciate the show. We covered it last year. It actually was one of the shows that I liked the most. So if you're watching the past broadcast, you're going to want to skip ahead by about 26 minutes so that way you can get to the actual show itself. We always go live a little bit early and talk with the audience about what's coming and about what to expect. I'm going to end the previous stream. If you haven't seen it yet, I did a stream about Ubiforward with my expectations and everything confirmed there. Shorter show, only about an hour, but it was a good discussion. I'm going to bring everybody over with the redirect.